Maybe even in first cities that have ever existed, people were telling that they have the best product in the world. Maybe a Nasir told everybody that he had the best copper in the region. And I don't come here with some moral superiority trying to tell you that I would not advertise something. I probably would if I had an occasion and I didn't think it was some kind of a scam. But advertisement is kind of a weird thing because it is basically everywhere and it tries to manipulate us. It is often a lie, and yet we accept it. It is kind of a white lie. Everybody knows that when somebody tells you this is the best product in the world, they probably didn't try their product against every product in the world. And to me, ads are kind of like a puzzle, trying to understand what it is trying to convince you to believe, trying to tell you, and in what way is it succeeding or not. And because of that, I would consider certain ads as kind of fun. Maybe they are smart, maybe they are just fun to think about. And I like to think why certain ads have a staying power, either because they are remembered or because they just keep happening, they keep coming back. Probably most of you, if not every one of you, has seen at some point McDonald's or KFC ad. Couple of days ago, I went to KFC where I haven't been in a very long time, and I have seen on the wall text stating best things in the world are to be shared or are for sharing. And I thought to myself, that is kind of fun, that is smart, that is injecting itself into that sentence without actually doing it up front. It doesn't tell you KFC is the best thing in the world, therefore you should share it with friends. It simply states best things are for sharing. And because of the localization and because of context, you could unknowingly fill in the blank that it is KFC, that is one of those best things in the world. Similarly, McDonald's ad, McDonald's jingle is probably so well known that I don't even have to tell you that. But it states, I'm loving it. And I do not think that anybody is stupid enough to believe that simply stating that in first person will make them believe, oh, yes, I am loving it. But it is a different thing when you read something, a book, a play, whatever. Well, in a play, there isn't much first person narration. Let's say a book, a novella. You read it in first person and you understand that it is not you that is saying all those things. But again, context of hearing and reading and thinking this ad is that you're in the world, you're outside. Even if you want to parody it, you say, I'm loving it. And perhaps just like the old saying, lie repeated 1,000 times becomes true, if you see this text enough times, if you read it, if you acknowledge it, if you simply remember the jingle, it reinforces the thing that you are loving it. But there are also ads that are simply fun because they are fun, and I believe they are generally in a net positive. Perhaps most famously, it would be an Old Spice ad, which is, very fun, quirky ad with a guy riding a horse, perhaps backwards. And it made me laugh, made me smile when I was a kid, and perhaps it did so for many, many people. And while doing that, it also made me think that whenever I think of buying a deodorant or something like that, I think of Old Spice. And I don't really mind because I don't care what kind of deodorant I buy, and I have a good memory connected to that company. There are also ads that try to be smart, and do they succeed? Perhaps not. I have recently heard many ads from a certain bank that always ends with a sentence to be and to have in rough translation. And it obviously refers to Erich Fromm book, To Be or To Have. I didn't actually read the book, I just know it exists. But I do not think uh, in his position either or he left the room for both. This ad tries to make you feel like you can eat a cookie and still have it, but still generally it's not egregious like some other ads are. But there are also ads that I dislike, to say the least. Perhaps I hate them, I loathe them. Some times ago, I was just going shopping with some breakcore on my headphones, and I physically shivered when an ad popped up and soft-spoken woman told me, "I love you." And this is probably one of the most egregious acts in ads that happens, trying to speak directly to some vulnerability within that many people possess. And other examples could be an ad that I also hear a lot, in which in the background you can hear a woman shouting as in distress, because it is an emotional response, automatic response, that if you hear somebody in distress, you will turn your awareness towards it. And I believe it's a very cheap trick, and perhaps it works, perhaps it doesn't, but it makes me actively dislike the company that uses this. There are also ads for things like AI that I simply do not enjoy. There was even one that I have uh, reported because it impersonated certain politician that I don't necessarily like, but still I don't think it should happen that an ad can impersonate somebody even if I don't like them to try to manipulate somebody to get into some weird shit. But no other ad makes me so angry that I would actively stop buying the product besides one, and that is an ad for Orbit Gum. I didn't know Orbit Gum needed any ads because, for me at least, it is so connected that whenever I think or I thought of chewing gum, I thought, yeah, of course, Orbit, I'll get that. But for quite a while, actually, there has been an ad running for Orbit Gum that I truly hate. And I thought I'm finally free of it. It has been running for a very long time. Maybe they've stopped just doing it. But no, yesterday I've heard it again. I didn't even need to look at the screen. The second it started, I knew what kind of an ad it is. What the fuck is this sound? I don't know if you can hear it. Maybe I'm in some kind of a horror scenario. Anyways, the ad starts kind of funky with a person sitting with a mouth opening up on their forehead that starts talking to them. It acts as a manifestation of inner monologue, and the mouth, the the mouth, that inner monologue, starts speaking that there are only 12 short hours before your next shift. And then the person simply stuffs this mouth with some orbit gum and it shuts up. And the jingle comes out: orbit, chew good, feel good, something, something. I don't care. And this ad makes me hate the company that made it. I have no idea who thought about this ad, who greenlit it, who decided to go through with it, because I have, in very short form, told you what happens in this ad, but what actually happens within this ad is that a person has some thoughts, perhaps not the nicest thoughts they can have. They have some anxiety about how short of a time they have before their next shift. Maybe out of this inner monologue could come some call to action. Maybe they could think things through. They could interpret them, think through them, and yet what they do is stuff that inner monologue with consumption, with, in this case, chewing gum. And what this ad tells me is: orbit, be complacent. Orbit, do not think. Orbit, be content with what you have. Orbit, accept the status quo. And I dislike this ad so much that it made me hate the company that makes the product. I simply don't buy Orbit gum anymore. And it might sound silly, but I truly think it is the worst ad that I have ever seen, because it does not break down on some technical level that it is made wrong, that it is bad on a technical level or acting level or any other level. It fails on conceptual level and nobody ever noticed it. Because what the fuck this ad is trying to tell me? What the fuck am I supposed to get from it? Orbit, consume. Like, is it trying to tell me to not think through my thoughts? Is it trying to tell me I should not have any concerns about my living situation? It's trying to tell me everything will be alright if I simply shut up and chew gum. I am passionate about hating this ad. And, well, I guess this is all for now. Let me know, what do you think about this ad specifically, if you've seen it. Let me know what you think about other ads, if you think about them as a puzzle like myself, or you simply don't notice it. Perhaps two more things about ads that I have noticed and are kind of interesting is: one, another ad that is, I think, type of ad that is generally hated by everybody is something repeated very often to the point of annoyance. There is famous ad in my country that is like a short little song that has been played so fucking much that it makes you want to barf. And the other thing about type of ad that is usually not a video ad but rather a poster or something like that is an ad with some person directly looking at you very intensely, which obviously captures your attention. This once more a very cheap attention grab that I don't necessarily like. And it's the same with ads that are, well, whatever. I think I said enough. I hope you enjoyed watching this, and even though I am kind of cringing doing that, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a great day. Enjoy it.